We remember every one of these residents because they were our families and we love them with all our heart. And they are so missed. And thank you for being here to remember them with us. If anybody would have something to say about any of our residents, I would love for you to come up and talk.
Honestly, I sat here and I was trying to think of a moment that meant a lot to me, and I thought of a million and I couldn't pick one because these people become family to you. You will get excited to come to work to see them and have conversations with them. Like going into 308's room and hearing, "Hey, sweetheart." Or getting to watch Jennifer and 307's relationship because they really bonded, and it was awesome to see. And I just got excited to do the little things that would make their day a little bit better. And it sucks because those things add up, and if they were getting the care they needed, a lot of them would still be here.
So, I'm a part of the kitchen, and I didn't know, I'm a part of the family, and I knew most of these residents by name, and it's sad to see them go. And like she was saying before, they were a part of all of our families. As much as they were a part of my family, they were a part of all of our families, and we cared about them like they were our own grandpa or grandma or something like that. And sucks to see them go, but we have this for them, and we hope that up in heaven they can see us doing this, and we know that we care for them as much as we ever did. Even me working in the kitchen, I see them every day, or as much as I can, and I cared for them as much as I could, even if they didn't remember my name.
Firstly, I'd like to say to each and every one of the residents that have passed, my sincerest condolences from the bottom of my heart, just as much as my friends here standing beside me. The hardships that we've had to endure, and no matter how much we wanted them to stay, despite our best efforts, they'd be selfish and me being able to keep suffering the way they did. But at least now we know that they can finally rest in peace and no longer be hurting. But I can't say a favorite moment for any of them because each and every moment left an impact not only on me but on all of us here, just as much as they have with you. And this isn't the end for them, because that impact and their legacy that they've left behind, not just family, but with those precious moments that they shared with us even until the end, it'll help move us forward and will help project their wishes and best hopes that they've left behind with us and help make it right on their behalf. And I'd like to say thank you all for coming out here and choosing to honor all of them.
Most of y'all know me, or at least you've heard me, I'm pretty sure. I've been here for a long time. Most of y'all know that the people who live here and work here, they're the only family I've got here. They mean everything to me. And as we're calling out the room numbers, that one didn't have to die. That one starved to death. That one died from sepsis. That was my best friend. And she died from sepsis because of the bed sores were on her back. The most tremendous thing I've seen in 3 decades of healthcare. 301, great man, insanely beautiful family. Died alone. I'll never see him again. 308, most wonderful human being. He was the last of a great generation. A lot of these folks, they replaced ones for us that we've lost. 303 took over being my dad, and then I lost him. I have never heard lungs sound like that. A man died from COVID in a hospital. He wasn't with us. He wasn't with family who loved him. 111 before the shutdown came into my hall every single night and bust my tables and my chops. He was a wonderful man. Worked for the Bureau of Land Management. Put his heart and his soul into Oregon his whole entire life. He was a true patriot and a wonderful person. 202. I can't violate him, but her name to me was favorite, and that's the only thing I ever did call her. I always got her name wrong, which is why I always called her favorite. She was, they were all favorite, you know? But she in particular, in the night that she died, she said, well, I suppose I love you just about as much as I've ever loved anybody. That meant everything to me. Because I suppose I love her just about as much as I've ever loved anybody too. These people are people. They're our heart and our soul and what we live for on a daily basis, what we sacrifice ourselves for, what we sacrifice our families for. Nobody's doing this for money. Nobody wants to stand outside in the soaking rain night after night after night, knowing God knows what is happening to our residents on the other side of that wall. We don't know. We hope for the best. We hope to God no one has died in there. We won't know. We're doing the best that we can. This was our last resort. This wasn't a decision to damn the man and get the bad guy. That was some of it. We just want our residents taken care of. If it's about money, I sure as hell wouldn't have been behind those doors for 3 years at $12 an hour. That's ridiculous. But I knew if I left, whatever happened to my residents was on me. I can't do my job in there. I sat there and I told Natalie, I am neglecting these people on a daily basis. And her response was, oh, I can definitely understand your pain. No, bitch, you can't. No, you can't. And you know what?
Come on, speak your truth.
I have been speaking my truth from the day I came out. That's just the way I am. But I just need you to know that I will never, ever, ever, ever stop fighting for the people who live here and the people who work here. I'll never stop fighting against those folks either.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everybody, for what you had to say. For me, there's just too many memories. I loved all of them so much. Just remembering them is so difficult. They were such beautiful people. 109, really hard one. He was the police chief or the fire chief, and he changed things, really big things in the community, and he was an awesome man. 308 was just precious, just such a kind-hearted, gentle soul. 210, she was something else. She was so feisty. She was tiny little thing, and feisty as can be, strong beyond compare. Oh yeah, she would get you. 108, oh my God. Most stubborn old man you ever met in your life. Loved him so much. He used to always tell me, oh well, win a few, lose a few. And then a plethora of other words I'm not going to say. 206A, she was a beautiful woman. She was alone and she was lonely there, and she had a really hard time. Her passing for her was quick, and I think it was something, it was a blessing for her because she was being tortured with dementia. It was just, she was so unhappy, but she still tried to make you happy and not ask for too much, and she was just beautiful. I loved her so much. I loved all these people. 113, oh my gosh, having to remind her over and over and over again the same things. She would ask you every 10 minutes the same story, and you know what? You just had to suck it up and tell her the same story over and over again. But you know, she was so precious and so wonderful. She never wanted to be a bother for anybody.
She shouldn't have died.
She shouldn't have died.
Nope.
And I love all these people so much. and they will never be forgotten. So thank you guys all for being out here to remember these residents with us. I appreciate all of you. Does anybody else want to speak? Marianne?
Well, I had the honor and privilege of working with my family for 2 years, and boy, I have a lot of grandmas and I have a lot of grandpas, and the sacrifices that they have made so that we can be here and do the things, it just broke my heart when I heard everything that was going on. And I'm a tough girl, and these guys know it takes a lot to get me to this. And there's times that I feel like if I hadn't left, maybe, but I can't take that all on. The owners need to understand it's not about money, it's about people. These are people's families, they're our family, and we need to understand that, you know, we were all working for pennies, taking care of these people, and I would do it again because I love them. And there were so many memories, and I remember so many times where I wouldn't be having a good day, and they'd just walk up and they'd say, "How are you doing today?" And I say, "I'm better now because you're here." And I love those feisty old men because they kept me on my toes. And I loved the ladies when I could do their hair and get their makeup on, and they were so beautiful, not only on the outside but on the inside. And I hope and pray that I can be as wonderful as they are at their age. And I'm glad everybody came out, and I just want to get the word out that seniors really need to be in the forefront because we're not getting any younger people. We're going to be in this position in years, and I want to make sure that we are all taken care of in a way that is humane. No one should die by themselves. No one should die in the manner that these people did. So please, please, just get people out there talking about this and make sure that they understand it's not about dollars. It's about people. We're all people.
Amen. Amen.
Okay, so to wrap this up, I have a statement I want to read. Two weeks ago, 80% of all workers at the Rawlin let our employee know of our intent to strike if our union was not recognized and there was no clear path to safe staffing. We kept our word. A majority of Rawlin workers struck, and not one of us has crossed the line to return. Despite threats, surveillance, bribes, and harassment, we kept our majority and kept each other strong. We have filed multiple reports with Adult Protective Services, BOLI, and DHS, and active investigations are going on at the Rawlin. Families have reached out to us, and we have told them the truth of our experiences, even when it was hard for them to hear. From the beginning, our plan was to strike for 4 days and then reassess. We had hoped that the Fox, the Onelife owners of Rawlin, would consider their residents and work with us on real solutions to keep them safe. They have not. It is to management's shame that they would rather spend thousands of dollars on new carpet and on union busting than on taking care of residents. We are caregivers. We will always put residents first. Sometimes that means fighting for them even when they are gone. Tonight, we have made a decision to continue the strike at the Rawlin for another 10 days. During this time, our focus will move from the picket line into the community. We will be talking to families and church leaders and legislatures about what is going on at the Rawlin and in these industries in general. This fight is not over. We're done watching our residents die. Thank you all for being here tonight.